you're a personal hero to me. I just think you're so phenomenal. And how we kind of became acquainted too, to me, is like such a cool, honestly, just a cool testament to like just connection. Like,
Mhm.
I remember so kind of how Koreen and I became acquainted, for everyone who's listening. My first initial graphic, kind of when it popped off, Harper's Bazaar reached out and they interviewed me. And I talked about We're Not Really Strangers and how that team really inspired me, and just Koreen inspired me, all this stuff. And um, I think somehow you must have found it.
Someone
Um,
sent it to me.
hmm?
Someone sent it to me. Someone
Yeah,
on
and I was
the
like,
team.
I was like, had like a fangirl moment, but I just feel like there's just been like little pockets in everything that's happened because of like since that graphic and moving forward now into even this podcast starting, where I've just looked to you guys and you as a person, and I feel like our little like messages like we've shared like here and there just like been so inspiring to me. And I'm just like so curious, like where did this passion for like human connection and self-reflection come from? I like read your Forbes article because I'm a creeper. It's fine, it's fine. But I love that you just talked about how you've always just loved connecting with people, and even how you talked about when you would take people's photos, so you would just get to like learn more about them. Like, I just
Mhm.
love that about you, because I feel the same way. Like, I'm very much so a people person, so I just wonder like where did that self-reflection and like connection to people, like that craving, come from?
Yeah, so I mean, just rewind real quick because me and my team have been such fans of you as well. So the feeling is so mutual. And what happened was someone sent your graphic very initially before we knew any affiliation, but like someone sent us your graphic and they were like, wow, this is so cool. Like, and obviously we loved it and we loved the quote. And I was like, this is just really amazing. And that's it. I was just like in awe of it and kind of saw your page and was already a fan. And then what happened was the article came out. And then we saw that you said that you were inspired by us. And I was like, whoa, that's insane. And so I immediately reached out and just wanted to send you a care package and say thank you. And the more you put out work, I think we just kind of kept having moments of like, I don't know, just back and forth of appreciation for each other. And I just because I'm such a lover of questions, when I see what you post, I'm like, wow, these are such great questions. And now I'm a huge fan and look to you for inspiration. So I think that's what's so amazing about social media is like,
Yeah, like you can find it from both ends, which is
yeah,
crazy. It blows my mind even hearing you say that, because I'm like, oh
yeah,
my gosh, freaking
yeah.
you guys, yeah.
Isn't that funny though? It's like, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
no, I know. And I think even like, wherever that initial craving for like connection and like self-reflection for you like came from, like for me, I feel like it's because I've seen so many ends of conversations where I'm like, I don't think anyone was really listening to each other.
Yeah, that's a big thing. So to answer your question, so what happened it's in the article that you read, but I'll just say it. Like it started from me photographing people. That's like the whole
Yeah.
start of this thing. But really the start of it was me feeling really low and feeling like I'll never feel like myself again. So I started asking people questions to help me feel less alone. That's really the beginning of it. So it was me at 16, had my first heartbreak. But at that age, you don't have like a point of reference. You're not like, oh, my last relationship ended and I got better. Or, there's no perspective. So I had to find perspective through other people's stories. So I went out on Ventura, set up a tripod, and would start asking people as they walk by, did you ever get over your first love? And people's answers were really interesting to me. And I fell in love with the process of kind of getting perspective through other people's experiences. And I felt better like over time. And I just kind of got lost in the art form. And like, yeah, it was just this kind of thing I was hooked on at that point. And over time, I just started asking different questions. And I found it to be a superpower because with a camera around my neck, like I was able to ask anyone anything. So there wasn't that like, you don't need to start with small talk. You don't need to know them for too long. I could just go up to someone, say I'm working on a photo project, and ask them, when was the last time you cried and why? And that's okay when you're doing photojournalism. So that was a thing for me, and I was doing it for many years. Like literally I started photographing people in yearbook when I was like 14. That's when it really started. I got my first camera and I just started doing it. And I just fell in love with it. And then at the same time, I've always just been very interested in the other side. Like there's a part of my brain that anytime I'm hearing a perspective, I want to understand what the other perspective is. Because I feel like that's how progress takes place. At least when I look at my own life, it's like, yes, I feel very firm in what I feel. But if I'm not open to how you feel, we're not going to come together ever.
That is it. That is it. That is like, period. Period.
Yeah. And I feel that in your work. I think that's what you and I have in common is we may not agree and we're not excusing, but we want to understand in the name of progress, in the name of, that's what we're trying to do.
I feel so seen by that. I feel so seen by what you just said, because what's really crazy is I think what's so interesting from, I think where I have a little separation from the other really big activists out there who have like a larger platform is I really offer reflection, because I think that's really where the change happens.
That's so powerful.
Yes, and it's so true, and it's the hardest thing to do. It's the hardest thing to do because it's not what one conversation for me can change your perspective, but it's up to you to reflect and change yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, soundbite.
I'm like, okay, but I'm serious, because just kind of like the next thing I want to talk about, what really made me have even a higher respect for what you guys did was Koreen and her team, they created an expansion pack to kind of unpack racism. And really just, it was an idea where you can sit down with family members or friends and learn and talk amongst each other about personal experiences, which is for me like everything, and really so important to hear why people think the way they do. Mm-hmm. And where the thought process from ideologies and things come from. Like, did that come from your parents? Did that come from a traumatic experience that happened in your life? Like, where do the prejudices that we have in our lives, like, where does that come from? And I thought that was so powerful that you guys decided to do that expansion pack, because I mean, your platform is the perfect place to do that, but it really opens up an opportunity to self-reflect. And I think when it comes to things like racism, or even just poor habits or character traits that we all have in some ways, it's important to understand, to reflect on them, to grow and change as a person.